Okay. All right. Let's do this one. I'll do the food theorists. We've never watched a video from their channel, so that's a big start off, and let's see what you got.
I mean, for as long as I can remember, they've been seen as one step away from toxic sludge reserved for late-night dungeon raids.
So I get lectured. Even just last night, I got lectured by a coworker about fucking was it ghosts? Yeah, I think it was ghosts. Like, I bought one grape, the Welch's grape juice, fucking ghost, which I love those things. What can I say? I got one, and one of my coworkers comes by and is like,
you know, those are not very good for your health, right? They have a lot of B6 vitamins in there, and that's, if you take too much of it, it's hazardous for your liver.
who actually fucking, like, Karens on other people's drinking habits? Like, who? I don't even, I feel like I want to, like, I drink, so we get free bottles of water at my work. I usually kill 2 or 3 of those in a night. I drink a shitload of, like, coconut water, the strawberry coconut water, the Bai strawberry coconut waters. Those things are crazy good when they're fucking cold. Love them. But yeah, every once in a while I grab a damn freaking Welch's grape juice ghost, and they taste good. They taste like Welch's grape juice. Yeah, it's because people, they get their fucking nose up in the air about energy drinks. It's like, they're not as awful as they're made out to be. They're bad. So's everything. It's just, it's fucking moderation. As with anything, moderation.
Or a last resort for all-nighters in school. But now, the market has been taken over by Celsius and other healthy energy drinks that supposedly burn fat and provide mental clarity. Basically make you...
If you believe anything that they say on the side of an energy drink can, you deserve to lose all your money to stupid shit. Because I'm sorry, but what the fuck? Oh yeah, it'll give you wings.
Better. But is it true, or is all of that just high-octane marketing? Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show that gives you all of the energy with none of the crash! Sorry, I'm just a little amped because apparently energy drinks are healthy now. I can't tell you the amount of Red Bulls and Monsters I've knocked back in my life. My early years of college are just a blur of organic chemistry and inorganic drinks fueling my brain and heart and taking them to limits they probably should never have gone to.
Did you just... Oh no. Watch that fucking clip go viral and people start calling me anti-Semitic.
They weren't good for me. After all, anything that claims to give you wings probably isn't. But they were a necessary evil when regular old coffee just wasn't enough. Since then, time has passed. Technology has gotten better, and the science of making hearts go boom boom with fizzy fizzles has advanced leaps and bounds. Lately, I've been seeing a whole bunch of Celsius commercials on TV. I know what you're saying. Commercials? What? Listen.
This guy watches TV.
It's football season, which means 15 seconds of play and 3 minutes of commercials, rinsed and repeated for 3 hours. And I've seen this commercial.
You can't watch football without advertisements? I got out of sports at the exact right time. All right, I'm like, this is a dick in the salad kind of moment, guys. I'm sorry. If this guy's like justification for having to watch shit tons of ads is that he's like I like sports, bro. There's a dick in your salad. I'm just saying. You might be eating around a big old friggin' lumpy looking.
Less than 23 times in the past 4 weeks.
First it's cardio, then it's a race against the clock. Refuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Grab a Celsius, lock in. I've got a goal to hit and a deck to conquer. A party to be the life of and all the essential energy I need to do it.
I mean, look at that. You got a firefighter, a doctor, a goal-conquering professional. These aren't people that'll drink energy sludge like college me. They only drink the best of the best. And Celsius is the only thing for them to be way better than me at life. So it's got me thinking, what's changed? Should I ditch the morning coffee and switch to a cool, crisp energy drink? Or are we all being duped? Energy drinks have been...
So the way my day goes is I start off the day with coffee. I think a warm cup of coffee is extremely important. There's stuff to do with your body's temperature, like raising your body temperature to get your body to like operating temperature. So like, I think a warm cup of coffee helps facilitate that. Same thing with like starting off the day and taking a shower right away. That also can it's about getting your body, if you do this though, you want it to be a habitual thing because you want your body to get used to that increase in temperature at that certain specific time throughout the day so that your body temperature clocks can kind of get on cohesive rhythm and it'll help your daily energy. Really will. Yeah. I've been trying to min-max. You thought it was funny? It was. That's why I'm scared, actually.
A huge part of the American drinks market ever since Red Bull pushed the concept hard through international marketing starting in the late 90s. They weren't necessarily the first energy drink ever. Japan's Lipovitamin D in the 60s
What the fuck is
holds that honor, but they definitely became the first to dominate the globe. Diedrich Mateschitz, the co-founder of Red Bull, said that when they first started it, there was no existing market for Red Bull, but Red Bull would create it. And the Austrian business whiz was very right. Fast forward just about 30 years, and the US is spending $23.9 billion on energy drinks every year. That's over a third of the entire $65 billion a year soft drinks market. And don't get me wrong, the classics, Red Bull and Monster, they're still the top dogs. But now,
I would say that the one thing to be mindful of that I've seen about energy, they are incredibly addicting. There's a lot of people, like Monster is one of the ones that I see this more often with, where you'll meet people that are Monster people, and these people will kill like 5, 6, 7 of these puppies in a day. Like, there's definitely a problem where certain people are getting addicted, and it is super fucking I don't see that as much with Red Bull, but yeah, definitely the Monster fanboys. I see that a lot there.
how healthy energy drinks have them doing the jealous girlfriend me. Now, before we dive in, we need to get on the same page here, because what is healthy when it comes to food? Health looks different from person to person, so how can we determine what makes a food healthy or not? I mean, an apple? Healthy. They even keep the doctor away. Or do they? We did a video, shameless plug. Mega Stuff Oreos? Not so healthy. But what lands them in their categories? Well, according to dietitians, they consider healthy foods ones that are as close to nature as possible. That would mean foods that aren't highly processed or adulterated, aka they don't have anything bad added or good removed. This pretty much removes all energy drinks. But that's no fun, and also kind of misses the point. Healthy is relative. Like, yeah, sure, energy drinks are never going to top any top 10 lists.
Right, healthy is relative. You can eat a shit sandwich. You have 2 shit sandwiches, yeah, and the one doesn't have pickles, so it's a little healthier.
Healthiest foods, but we're asking if Celsius and these healthy energy drinks are healthier than the classics. So we'll be looking at 3 things. Are they beneficial physically for people, beneficial mentally, and how clean are the ingredients? Celsius's whole brand really centers around happy, fit people. It's part of their Live Fit Go campaign. And if that's not an endorsement of physical benefits, I don't know what is. But let's take a closer look at their website. I mean, right there, bam, we see kettlebells, we see studies. One study for each of their supposed health benefits. Burns calories, increases metabolism, pre-workout benefits, and increased response to exercise. All things you're looking for if you're trying to live a healthier lifestyle. And look, whether energy drinks are healthy or not, my health is something I just don't play with, which is why I'm so happy to partner with ZocDoc, today's sponsor, yet again. If you don't know,
But like the whole thing of it, yeah, these guys are catering towards like the health focused people. It's like a seltzer based beverage. All the things that they claim about their product, these are just vague generalizations that you could make about energy drinks in general. You could make these same comments about anything with caffeine in it, or like anything of that. So they're just focusing on that to capture that particular audience, because that particular audience has not been captured, right? Oh my.
Doc can help you find the right in-network doctor for you and book your appointment. Ever since we worked with them last time, I knew I wanted to bring them back because my experience has been so easy that I really just want to share again. See, I hate going to the doctor for so many reasons, not the least of which is those wood tongue depressors that I literally have to be restrained for. And that's not a punchline. That's real facts. I'm such a wimp that they have to get 2 people to stop me from flailing around. Point is, I like to avoid the doctor whenever possible. But between travel, work, and more work, it's been hard to treat my body like the temple it is. So I decided it was fun Finally, time to get my decennial checkup to make sure everything is hunky-dory. And ZocDoc came to the rescue. ZocDoc makes it easy to book in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers. With ZocDoc, you can filter for doctors by specialties and see reviews by verified patients so you can choose the best, most convenient care for you. You can even filter by who takes your insurance or how far away they are. Since I moved, I never really had time to do the in-depth research I would like to find a doctor. But ZocDoc really made it easy, and I found someone great just 10 minutes from my apartment. They even didn't stick the depressor halfway down my throat like the others do. Plus, ZocDoc helps.
What if we want it all the way down our throat, though? Sorry, zoned out for a second there.
You get appointments fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking, and you can even score same-day appointments. But the best part is, no awkward human interaction, just a couple of taps in the app, and voila! So don't be afraid of tongue depressors. Go to ZocDoc.com/foodtheorist or click the link in the description to find a top-rated doctor today. Thank you so much to ZocDoc for sponsoring us. Now let's get back to Celsius. When it comes to burning calories, they're talking about thermogenesis. Thermogenesis is the process of our bodies producing heat, which takes energy, meaning it burns calories. That calorie burn also temporarily ticks up your metabolism. They're pretty much one and the same.
No, I'm ex-military. The two are quite often mistaken for one another.
The study they cite actually pitted Celsius against Diet Coke and did find that Celsius has more thermogenic properties than Diet Coke. But this should be an obvious duh because a big contributor to thermogenesis, caffeine. And Celsius not only has about quadruple the amount of caffeine, but also some other stimulant ingredients that can help thermogenesis get cranking. So it's really no surprise that it would burn more. Question is, how does it compare to Red Bull or Monster? Because that's what we want to see. Is it healthier than them? Well, Red Bull has a surprisingly little amount of caffeine, just barely more than a shot of espresso at 114 milligrams in a 12-ounce can.
And this is why I never drank Red Bull. Never liked the stuff. It's got like half the fucking caffeine of a cup of coffee.
So definitely gives less of a thermogenic effect. But at 160 milligrams per 16-ounce can, it still doesn't reach Celsius's. Not only that, but both Red Bull and Monster have an ungodly amount of sugar that would immediately cancel out the small amount of calories that would be burned through thermogenesis. The sugar-free versions do handle that setback, but still leave them out in the cold compared to Celsius. Now, this is where we get to the bubble bursting. Because those extra calories, the study shows that the participants burned an extra 14% for 3 hours after drinking a can. Sounds like a lot. It isn't. Considering the average metabolic rate for an adult male is 1,700 calories a day, that means they burned an extra 10 calories an hour at rest. You could knock that out by standing up, going to get a glass of water, and sitting back down. It's not as impressive as it sounds. Now, the metabolism study is actually interesting. It showed the increase in thermogenesis, which we just covered, but it also showed that Celsius triggered something called...
I feel like this is exactly what I was saying. It's going to be some nonsense about how the caffeine speeds up your metabolism and how it vaguely helps you with all these fucking fitness things. It's still awful for you. It still is. Like, is this a different kind of poison?
Lipolysis. Lipolysis is the metabolic...
Caffeine free for 3? What horror do you live in? How do you ever, like, get up in the morning? It'd be such a weird, like, going without my cup of coffee in the morning. I don't think I could do it. It's such an important ritual.
Process of breaking down stored fat into its components, glycerol and fatty acids, which your body can then use for fuel. So increases your metabolism is a bit vague, but it's definitely catchier than increases FFA concentration. To be fair,
that's what I was saying. It's all just super vague.
Compared to Red Bull and Monster, this again is triggered mostly by caffeine, but like we established, more caffeine, more better in these two.
So what do you you're just drinking other energy drinks then, right? The ones that don't have caffeine? There's quite a few of those. I don't think Ghost or C4 have caffeine in them. I think they have carnosine.
So far, so good. Celsius makes your body burn a couple more calories for the hours after you drink it and breaks down your fat. Yeah, but pause for suspense and for you to click the subscribe.
Get you some tomato juice. I think I tomato tomato juice like V8 last night. I forgot how good that shit is when it's like cold. I haven't had tomato juice in good stuff.
A button. Suspense over.
I probably won't ever drink it again for like a while, but it was good for the moment.
Breaking down fat doesn't really do much by itself. Here's the thing. The glycerol and fatty acids that come from the broken down fat just go back to being fat if you don't use them. Meaning, if you're just sitting around drinking your Celsius, your fat isn't going anywhere. That said, if you do work out, your body has something to do with that broken down fat.
This is the whole thing with Gatorade, by the way. Like, this is why Gatorade is so fucking awful for you. They claim that it's healthy for you, but the reality is because there's so much sugar and shit in it, that if you're just sitting around drinking Gatorade, it's actually fucking awful for you because it's just going to turn straight into fat.
It actually oxidizes it and helps you burn a few more calories in your workout sesh. Again, it's not magic. Not like you'll suddenly burn off that Chipotle burrito, but it adds up and means an extra 100 calories or so on top of what you're burning. The advantage it has over the others here is basically that it has more caffeine. It's a relatively small difference, but hey, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. Thanks, Vin. That's a check for physical benefits. As far as mental benefits go,
for the
this boils down to
electrolytes.
the caffeine yet again. See, caffeine is proven to improve cognitive performance, your reaction time, your logical reasoning, even your arithmetic, and as you may have experienced, makes you feel less fatigued. It works by blocking the receptors for adenosine. Adenosine is the sleepy molecule. Its job is to slow you down so you don't push your heart.
Yeah, so that's okay. So that's what we're gonna get into, is explaining the adenosine. Cool. Yeah. Caffeine does not give energy in any way, shape, or form. All it does is it blocks your adenosine receptors. So, interestingly, the claim here is that these beverages speed up your metabolism through the caffeine.
As you may have experienced, makes you feel less fatigued. It works by blocking the receptors for adenosine. Adenosine is the sleepy molecule. Its job is to slow you down so you don't push your heart or your brain too hard. Caffeine doesn't stop the adenosine from building up. It just clogs your body's adenosine receptors so that for a little bit, your body doesn't realize that it's tired. Basically, it stops you from pressing the brakes. It's all gas, baby!
Yeah, it just blocks the sensation of being tired. That's all caffeine does. It doesn't give you any energy whatsoever. It just blocks your brain's feeling of being tired. It blocks the brain's reception of the adenosine, which is the chemical that as it amasses throughout the day, basically once that builds up to a certain critical point, your brain says, okay, time to go to sleep. And that's it. So yeah, you take caffeine and it blocks your reception of adenosine, so you think that you're more energetic longer. That's why it doesn't work if you're really fucking tired. If you ever notice, if you're really fucking tired, a lot of time caffeine like still won't work. It's because like you're already cooked. And also it makes it way worse when the caffeine wears off, right? Because because during the period of time where you had the caffeine in effect, your body was still amassing more adenosine, right? So if you were kind of tired before the caffeine, it makes you feel normal for a little bit, but then you just get hit by the truck, and that's that like afternoon nap, fucking turbo tired that you end up feeling a while after an energy drink. That's why. It's because you're getting hit by a freight train by all of that adenosine all at once. That's top clipper from my channel. Oh shit.
For a little, because once the caffeine wears
Nice.
off, suddenly there's a
8
lot
viewers?
of brakes being
Oh,
pressed,
no.
all the brakes, hence the crash you feel. There's also the fun thing our bodies do, which is adapt. Your brain
Yeah, I'm
actually makes
cooked.
more receptors to compensate
I'm
for the
getting
caffeine,
canceled.
which is why you develop a tolerance and need more caffeine over time. When it comes to Celsius and some of these healthy energy drinks, they're
Right, and that's the things. Yeah, as you drink more caffeine, you develop more tolerance to it. So it takes more caffeine to nullify the adenosine receptors. I don't think I take enough caffeine where that's really a problem. I do the cup of coffee in the morning. I do usually follow it up with a second cup of coffee at some point. But from that point on throughout the day, I'll usually, let's see. Usually I'll drink like one beverage of choice and then water. What that means, like, you know, today I'm doing the Rehab Monster as the fucking beverage of choice. And you know, everything else will be water because I'll be drinking it pretty much exclusively water once I go to work. I think I have a pretty decent beverage intake, like, schedule. Maybe one a day is too much, but meh.
high caffeine levels aren't the best. See, the
Yeah,
upper
sorry guys. Yeah, let's check out today. We're getting canceled. I'm very clearly, you know.
ceiling of recommended caffeine intake is about
I don't wanna
400
say it.
milligrams
Feel like a
per day.
clip.
That's just 2 cans. You get too accustomed to drinking Celsius throughout the day, and you might start seeing some adverse effects like stomach problems, heartburn, shakiness, and heart palpitations. No bueno. As far as mental benefits though, as long as you're not pounding 3 back every single day, you're getting as much mental
Only 3?
clarity as a couple of Red Bulls or 2 Grande Fraps. It's not necessarily better in this category.
Grande Fraps, by the way, are the most abhorrently bad way to get energy into your body as possible. It is so fucking bad. Like, the return on fucking investment for one of these suckers, this is like as many calories as a Big Mac, and it's probably only got maybe 100 grams of caffeine, something like a 70% of a cup of coffee. Like, there's a criminally small amount of actual caffeine in it. It's like you buy this shit for the foo-foo fucking whipped cream and super rich sugary nonsense. You don't buy it for the energy.
But still a check. Which leads us to checking under the hood at the ingredients. One quick glance at the
Oh, here we go, 200 milligrams.
ingredients list, and once you get past the green tea extract, the syllables start piling up. Pyridoxine hydrochloride? There's no way that can be good for you. Thing is, it sounds scary, but it isn't. It's just the specific.
That's every ingredients label ever anymore. I'm sure if I pick up anything nearby me here, I can find some really fucking questionable. Here, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna read off some ingredients and you guys see if you can guess what this is. Polysorbate 60, calcium carbonate, monocalcium phosphate, sodium caseinate, soy protein isolate, mono and diglycerides, sodium aluminum phosphate, tallow. My Monster Rehab? No. You know what zingers are? I got a box of zingers. Those little like Hostess fucking chocolate things. That's ingredients off of a zinger. The little donut thing with icing inside of it. You can find weird ingredients on literally anything. That's just kind of how it is anymore, right? It sucks, but I don't know. It's not really anything that's unique to energy drinks.
Chemical form of the nutrient they used. In this case, vitamin B6. The FDA here in the USA and the EFSA in Europe actually require companies to disclose what form of the vitamin they're using, because vitamin B would be way too general for legal reasons. So most of those long, complicated names are just vitamin C, B, and B2 through 12. What we really need to hone in on is their sweetener and their caffeine. Unlike Red Bull or Monster's OG offerings, which have about 75% of the recommended value of sugar, meaning one can is almost all the sugar you should have in a day, Celsius doesn't use
normally
sugar. It uses sucrose. Sugar obviously has serious problems. Too much sugar intake can lead to diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. But it's not like some artificial sweeteners don't have their problems either. Fortunately, sucralose is one that the studies show is pretty safe. Sure, taking too much of it and it can lead to some potential health risks. But if you take it in moderation, generally safe, according to the folks in the FDA. There is one potential drawback. Artificial sweeteners may lead your body to crave more calories. See, in nature, sweet usually means your body is taking in plenty of calories. That was a good thing for our ancestors. With artificial sweeteners, your brain's reward system lights up, but it realizes it didn't take in calories, so it may try and get you hungry for more. Now, the research for that is pretty inconclusive overall, but point is, probably best not to overindulge. Now, caffeine.
Yeah, that's it. That's just it, right? I mean, they just keep coming back to any of this shit's bad in excess. It's weird. It's like trying to out particular types of sugar or fake sugar as being more or less unhealthy. You know, the general idea should just be moderation as much as you can in all instances, right?
Caffeine. Where would we be without it? Sleeping. And less jittery probably, but way crankier. Honestly, does it surprise anyone that an episode about energy drinks hinges on caffeine? But it's a fascinating ingredient, mainly because not all caffeine is created equally. See, caffeine at the highest level falls into 2 categories, synthetic and natural. Synthetic caffeine is what you tend to find in sodas like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, while natural caffeine comes from things like coffee beans and green teas.
And that is why I start my day with coffee. Actually, now I think about it, I only pretty much drink natural caffeines now. with the exception of the the occasional freaking ghost or energy drink here and there.
Speaking, they're virtually the same. But synthetic caffeine is absorbed by your digestive system way faster, meaning a quicker jolt, but a quicker crash. And that quicker jolt isn't always good, because the spike could bring on the shakes and palpitations. Not only that, but synthetic caffeine is not well regulated, and
If you get shakes or palpitations from drinking energy drinks, you should stop. That's a pretty straight, like, yeah.
the cheap production can lead to corners being
Yeah, seems
cut.
like good
Granted,
stuff.
rarely do issues arise from that, but the point stands. Synthetic caffeine probably shouldn't be your go-to. And guess what has synthetic caffeine? The good old classics, Red Bull and Monster Energy. Monster also has some natural sources.
Yeah, well, fuck you. I mean, yeah, fuck you.
But the bulk come from the synthetic part. Red Bull is actually pretty sneaky with this. On their website, they say that caffeine is naturally present in more than 60 plants, which is true, they just don't use it. That's why these two aren't necessarily the best, but they might provide a more immediate pick-me-up for people. Quick tip, the best way to see if a caffeine source is synthetic or not is by checking the ingredients list. If it just says caffeine, likely synthetic. Otherwise, it'll say it's from a natural source. Something like caffeine from green tea or guarana seed extract. Let's take a look at the Celsius ingredients again, shall we? Yep, there it is. Guarana seed extract followed by double gas. Caffeine? Just caffeine? Meaning it's synthetic? It's true. While Celsius does take caffeine in part from guarana and green tea, there is still some synthetic caffeine in there to hit you quick. Now, the reason why they advertise an all-day energy is because the caffeine from guarana lasts longer. It's bound to the tannins in the plant, so if your body wants that energy...
that's not a bad selling point right there. Actually, that it has both natural and synthetic caffeines in it. That is good. If you're actually genuinely feeling tired or whatever, trying to avoid feeling tired, that would be best probably approach then.
It has to go through them first. It's a slower release. That's also why they may include the synthetic caffeine
But
for
also
a more
say
immediate
different
effect as
people
opposed to
probably
you
more
plugging down
less
a great
receptive
energy drink and waiting a
to
couple of hours.
synthetic
It's still
versus
not great that they
non-synthetic
use that form
caffeine.
of caffeine to begin with. There's a reason they try to harp more on their guarana extract. So as far as the ingredients being clean, marginally, at the end of the day, we don't know how much of the 200 milligrams comes from synthetic or natural. And if you're someone that's concerned about your caffeine source, a regular old cup of joe or two is just better. So our first
Okay,
X
good.
in the column for
That's what we
Celsius.
do.
2 of the 3 categories is still pretty good. It might have some slight edges over the 2 big dogs in the energy drink space, but is it really healthier? Thing is, despite people seeing their marketing of fit, successful, attractive 20-somethings and assuming it's healthy, Celsius doesn't
Wait, if I drink these, I can look like her? Holy shit, send me a 12-pack.
actually say it is. Yeah, at no point is there a hint that it's the healthier energy drink. But we tend to see active people in active wear drinking the stuff and assume, well, hey, it's gotta be good for me, right? Wrong. But it's also not necessarily bad for you either. It's actually a good drink if you use it correctly, by consuming it about 15 minutes before a moderate or intense workout. Thanks mostly to the thermogenic properties, your body will burn slightly more calories with Celsius than it would naturally. And you will burn slightly more fat. If you're trying to lose weight, it might help give you a tiny nudge in the right direction. They actually emphasize that the beneficial effects happen when you combine it with exercise. However, if you're expecting to down a can and lose a couple of pounds sitting at your desk, well, don't. As far as the ingredients, while synthetic caffeine sources aren't ideal, if you really hate coffee and green tea, but still need something to get you through the day, having a can isn't the end of the world, especially because it is a low-calorie option. Having a grande PSL has about as much caffeine with way more sugar. So
And there it is. This is what I was talking about earlier with the McDonald's fucking frappes. Yeah, like 150 freaking grams of caffeine and almost 400 calories. Like crazy the amount of sugar and stuff in those.
healthy energy drinks aren't healthy
Fucked up
after
that
all.
clip.
And if you're a
Oh,
bigger
man.
fan of zero sugar Red Bull or Monster,
Sorry, it
follow
happens.
your taste buds. But if you're trying to hit the gym or burn a tiny amount of extra calories, then go for one of these fit energy drinks like Celsius, as long as you don't overdo it or expect a miracle. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory.
wouldn't it-
Buen provecho.
Wouldn't you still just be better?
And hey, is
Better off
Coke
getting
healthy
some
now
coffee
too? Make sure to click
for
the
your
link on the
workout then?
screen. And as always, I'll see you next week.
Actually, my takeaway from this is I need to get some refined caffeine extract. Right? Just some like straight ass fucking caffeine intake. That way I can dilute my beverage to like where I'm just straight up chugging caffeine. right? Because by this logic, the more caffeine I intake, the faster I'll burn fat. Okay, second problem. Don't have fat to burn. All right, let's find a new problem. All right, so that was a good video. Yeah, we updated food theorist. Sure, we'll throw the guy a subscribe, and guys, yeah, follow this guy. We throw the thingy in the thingy. There you go. Yeah, it's absolutely good content, good relevant content. I'm always happy to react to stuff like that. I can see this being, necessary subject matter too. Finding out if we should be ovening, microwaving, or air frying our pizza. I'm gonna click on this.
Yes, you.
And we'll save this for later.